Okay. Welcome to the Agents of Fandom podcast, the podcast that looks at the mystical realms of sci-fi and fantasy. I am your host, Kayla, the Huntress of the Wilds.
And I am your co-host, Jasmine, champion of the Proving Grounds.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll give you a hint to what we'll be talking about today. Before we get into that, we're going to start off with our artist spotlight. Our first segment we're going to dedicate to highlighting an indie artist, designer, writer, basically people who are creating dope content that we want to give a shout out to. This episode is GDBEE, or Geneva. They're the creator of Hover Girls webcomics, also draws and illustrates primarily Black girls and women in their media and art. I love it because it's just like, when I look at the art, it's like super chill and beautiful, and the color palettes are amazing, and it just makes me happy. There's a Zodiac series where like different Black women are depicted as like different Zodiac signs, planet series, a breakfast series where like they're drawn with like different types of breakfast foods and goods. It's just really an expression of this artist's amazing style and imagination. Just so you guys know, they don't do commissions, but there is a store where you can buy all the prints and drawings that are up for sale. You can find GDB on Instagram at GDBEE or Twitter at GDBEEArt. So that's at and then GDBEEART. And then on all the social media pages, there's links to the shop, and we'll also put some links in the description. So that's just a shout out to an illustrator, an artist. Go out, support the Hover Girls webcomic. It's super cute.
They are super cute.
Has like fat girl plus size representation is one of the heroes who's a model, which I think is super awesome. And just like I said, yeah, the colors, the design, the aesthetic is just really cool. So you guys should definitely check out. She's a Black illustrator, so definitely check her out. Okay, so we're going to get into the main topic of today's episode, Horizon Zero Dawn. Just as a selfish plug, I have started streaming on Twitch under QueenKay all day.
And I did the art for it.
Yeah, I love it. I really do.
Thank you.
So yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is the first game I decided to stream. I've been gaming since high school, but I mostly stuck to like Kingdom Hearts, which is like action role-playing adventure game.
Dragon Ball Z.
I love my Dragon Ball Z games. I played the Inuyasha game, which was also kind of like an RPG game.
That's right, you did.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, which is apparently a sporadic, reoccurring constant in our life.
Yeah. Overwatch was actually the first player shooter game I've ever played.
Me too. Well, it's the first one I like to play. I played
this
game called my very first person shooter was this game on PlayStation 1 called Siphon Filter. I don't even remember. I just remembered that name and shootings, and I was incredibly bad at it.
Yeah, I because I've stuck mostly to PlayStation games. I played on Xbox like at friends' houses, but I never was like an Xbox owner myself. I played Kingdom Hearts all through when they first came out. I played Inuyasha games. Oh, I had a Full Metal Alchemist game too that I played. I think in college, maybe.
All the anime games.
I do love anime games. So, and then I think there was actually I feel like there was a Wolverine game that we played in college. I feel like I remember us because we would switch off and on when we were playing it.
We normally do switch on and off while playing video games, even though they are technically meant for one person. But
yeah, because remember the rule was like if you die, then it's your turn.
Oh yeah, and every other boss.
Oh my god, when we got to there'll be a whole Kingdom Hearts episode, but the Logan game I think came out. It had to have come out when the actual like that first prequel Logan movie came out.
It's gotta be
where it had Ryan Reynolds in it. I don't know. I just vaguely remember that game. So anyway, to get back to it, so Horizon Zero Dawn, I haven't been able to play video games because life, and then the Rona happened and everyone shut down. So
The
I
Rona.
looked at my PS3 and I was like, well, I guess it's time to start streaming and playing video games again. And I will say that, I'm sorry, not PS3, PS4. I will say Horizon Zero Dawn was a great way to get back into the gaming experience. So, for those of you who don't know, Horizon Zero Dawn is an action role playing game that was developed by Guerrilla Games and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Let me see. And then the plot follows Aloy, a hunter in a world overrun by machines who sets out to uncover her past. I'll try to keep spoilers to a minimum, but this game has been out since 2019, last year-ish.
Yeah, I have like a 4-week spoiler window. If you haven't seen it in 4 weeks, then I'm going to spoil it.
Yeah, I'm not going to drop like the actual hardcore spoiler, but I am going to talk about the game and the setup in general. So it's basically a game that's played on the PS4, though I believe that you can play it on PC through Steam, but there have been some complaints about it.
I think so. I think you can. I think I saw it.
Yeah, so I think there have been some people who were like, "Meh, I don't like this." So, PS4, I guess that's how I played it. Essentially, it's an open world concept, which I love. Open world concept.
It's the open world is the best.
Yeah, because it just makes me feel like I could just derp around and
I don't know. There's two sides of it. Like I love it because of the freedom, but I hate it because of the freedom.
yeah, because you never know like. Is every stone worth unturning, or is this just like the developers like for the love of? I just like the idea that the developers like for the love of God, just get back to the actual storyline.
And I'm just sitting over here, just thinking, I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm over here
remember. I got lost in these rocks.
Yeah, I'm just over here. There has to be something in this pocket of rocks over here, right? And it's like, nope, there's nothing.
I gotta loot this dead guy. I just know it.
So what's really cool about Horizon Zero Dawn is that the game itself, like they have a night and day cycle. The weather will change.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she'll comment on it. She's like, "Oh, the snow's coming," or "Oh, it's super hot," or like when you see her avatar, she'll like shiver or like rub herself if she's like in the snow. Which, to be fair, I was putting her in like some leather strap hunter outfits, and I was just like, I need to put some fur clothes on her because it doesn't actually impact her health, but it would be kind of cool if it did. But then also the game would be super hard, I feel like.
It would be. It's like Breath of the Wild. You have to dress accordingly or else you could die in the elements.
Really? See, that's why I love Zelda games. I wish I could have gotten Nintendo Switch, but...
Oh my, I have to start over that game. I tried to play Breath of the Wild like 2 days ago after not playing it since, I don't know, January. And dang, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm going to restart it on easy mode.
Yeah, you can't
just to finish it.
And I would say too, Horizon Zero Dawn is kind of like that. Like you can't just like drop the game and then come back months, like maybe like a couple of days, because after like I think a week or two I had to like, because I had other stuff I had to do. But if you really want to be like back into the storyline, back into the action, it's a game that really encourages you to keep playing. She can travel through jungles, forests, deserts, and snowy mountain regions. And so Aloy herself, just as like kind of a character rundown for her abilities, she's a huntress. So that means she can use bow and arrows, which using the bow and arrow in the game, I don't know how they did it. Actually, I think I saw a video that was up by Polygon where they interviewed the developer, the designer of the game. And like, it feels what it must feel like when you're like stringing an arrow on a bow and how she releases it. Like you can, I don't know. It's super cool. She can use slingshots to toss elemental bombs. So like she can throw fire bombs or ice bombs or electric bombs. She also fights with her spear. She can ride mounts, which is cool. After a certain point in the game, she can do parkour to climb and run.
Or are you trying to sound French? Parkour?
No, I was trying to do parkour like on The Office when they were like parkour, and they kept playing.
Trash can.
Yeah. She can also do stealth, so she does a lot of little like skimpering around and sneaky sneak. And then she has what's called a focus, which basically is like a technological device that can help her track and target enemies. So it's really kind of that kind of sense of like a hunter that can track enemies and things like that is really cool, because when you are bad at targeting, it's nice to have a device that's like, all right, look, this is where the person is.
At me.
Yeah, well, me too. So
I am
so
not great at targeting or sniping or anything like that.
yeah. And so, well, just like in most games, there's a skill tree that allows you to level up her abilities and unlock cool new ones. So, for instance, one of the abilities you can lock is that you can actually override like the giant machines to fight for her. So, which I really want to do more of, because I feel like I just mostly did it to override mounts. I mean, that at a certain point, you can get a certain number of points, and you can actually just like, she can summon mounts, so she doesn't even have to override them, which is super
Oh,
cool.
nice.
So the game itself, there are main quests that follow the storyline, of course. So there's two different storylines that are happening. There's one that explores Aloy's past, and one that explores the current day world, which is basically like, it's the 31st century. We're the old ones are like past civilizations that had technologies that they're the ones that created the machines, and then the machine went rogue in a very Skynet type way,
Of
where they
course.
were going to kill everybody.
Yep,
And
per usual.
per usual, as we have been warned, and probably will still end up happening because we're humans. Uh, and the mystery is to figure out, well, clearly they didn't wipe out everybody on Earth, because Aloy and her people are here, you know? So they're spread out in tribal-like populations with little access to technology. So it's interesting because there's like ruins where there's like old cars and games like stadiums and things that are very reminiscent of what our world looks like now, but it's all like moss covered, and they're like, what is this? And this one merchant was like, there's these odd clay vessels that they use, and she's like, maybe they just drank out of it. He's like, no, there must be some clear mystical reason. And
I love
it's
stuff
kind
like
of
that.
it's kind of funny, because it's probably like how our ancestors from the past, like, we're over here like, oh, this must have been a mystical tool for them to worship their god, and like we literally just looked at our faces. That's all it was for. It was nothing special.
Do you ever think that one day in like 500 years, people are going to look back on memes and think they meant something?
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll have a whole like career that's dedicated to meme studying.
They put this cat in a piece of bread.
What did it mean?
It meant that cats were likened to substance. I don't know.
That was actually pretty good. That was a pretty good, off the top of your head,
Why, thank you.
meme deconstruction.
I am a creative after all.
So Aloy can interact with the world. So for instance, there will be people who are randomly in danger. Like, you'll just be on your way to your quest and you'll hear someone scream and run by. You can choose to help them. Sometimes you can't. Honestly, I mean, I had business to do. Did I ignore someone's cry for help because I had to rush to a quest line? I did.
Quick
I
question.
was, yes.
Okay, so you said that you can choose to ignore people. Do they remember your choice?
As opposed as to say that, have I recognized that there are ramifications? No.
Okay, so it's not like Fable where the people remember that you were a jerk to them.
That would be awesome if that did happen. I think the most that happens is that if you save them, sometimes they have like quests, like they have like, items for you to take. Like, oh, thank you for saving me. Here's some. They're called metal shards. That's kind of like their currency.
Gotcha.
But I will say this, because so she can interact with NPCs through a dialogue wheel to learn more about the world and lore. So she can talk to someone, and like there's a clear like choice to move the story along. But there's also like, hey, do you want to know more about this tribe or what this person does or whatever? And then she also has the option where she can respond to certain situations with heart, intellect, or threat, which do bear a consequence on how the characters interact with her and how the storyline. I mean, I feel like you could play this game more than once and then try to see like, are there different endings? I've only played it once, so I've only seen one ending. And I tended to let her answer her questions with intellect, because I like the idea of her being like a clever, sarcastic person. I've seen people play the game where she's answered it with threat. So she was very just like, no, I'm about to sacrifice you, you know. And I didn't, because I wanted to be like, what if that person could come back to help me? Or for instance, like sometimes you can have people help you fight versus like she decides to do it by herself. So I think it just changes up like how difficult the game is based off of like if you're like I'm a solo huntress, I don't need nobody versus sure I'll take the help whenever I can get it since I'm basically doing all the shit for you guys anyway. Um so yeah, that is pretty much the game. I didn't even manage to tell any type of spoiler
Well, you
for
should
the
have.
for the story itself. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we get back, we will give kind of like our review, or I guess I'll give my review on what I think about the game and what's going to come up next. Hey, Jasmine, I see you're getting better at graphic design.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been practicing a bit. Hoping I can do a few freelance jobs, maybe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but it seems like it would take a lot of time for me to try and figure things out. I definitely don't have time to research starting a freelance business or where I should even start.
Yeah, starting a business can be pretty daunting, especially if you have to do it by yourself. You could probably ask Siren Vinay to help.
Siren Vinay?
Yeah. Siren Vinay is a business development and multimedia consultation and production company. They specialize in helping individuals just like yourself who are trying to figure out how to bring their talents to the market.
Are you doing a promo commercial right now?
Not only that, but Siren Vinay's project management and marketing services will ensure that you can bring your products and services to an audience that is ready to receive them. They also utilize their production service to provide original and authentic content to the masses and can provide these skills to help you develop your business as well.
We're the only ones here. I don't know why you're...
Developing a business can be hard, but it doesn't have to be. Siren Vinay can provide the support you need to take your business from the idea phase to the automated phase.
Meaning...
Okay, look, you just want to focus on designing, right?
Yeah?
Well, Siren Vinay has a team that can help you research and develop your business. You know, things like trademark research, helping you figure out what business structure works for you, basically anything that has to do with internal processes and procedures that you'll need for developing and maintaining a business and for getting clients.
Okay, so I can just save all that time and focus on my designs.
Yep. And the best part is that Siren Vinay will keep you informed and they'll also educate you on the entire process. That way, you'll feel more comfortable for how the entire business process and development works, and you can know that they'll have your business interests in mind. You can check them out at www.sirenvinay.com for more information, or you can email them at siren.vinayllc@gmail.com to learn more about what this company has to offer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just make sure to check out Siren Vinay, and the website is www.sirenvinay.com. That is SYRENVANEE.
And welcome back for the break.
Yes, we are in the second section part, basically, where we're going to be, or I guess I will, since I am the one who played this game, talking about what I liked, what I didn't, and then what's coming up. So, I like this game. I like the music. The visuals are beautiful. And it's just kind of a game that I didn't mind spending time getting lost in and exploring. Even though I beat the game, there's still so much that I have to like uncover. There's achievements. I love my achievements just like I did in World of Warcraft. There's tons of side quests that still have to be done. And, you know, when I went from the beginning of the game towards the end, I think the level of difficulty was pretty good. Especially someone who's like, I wouldn't call myself like a professional, like hardcore. Any game I step into, I'm just like straight killing it. But it did make me feel like I was getting better over time with her abilities. And then also too, if you're just like someone who really wants to get into it for the story mode is pretty fun because basically like the health bar for your people you're fighting is super low, probably like 2 shots, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, now to continue on to the story. But if you're someone who likes the difficulty, I think the difficulty levels are pretty good.
Which I think most games should have a story mode game where you're literally just playing for fun. I'm getting tired of all these games that are like, you need to be super great at this game. You need to be able to do X, Y, and Z moves to kill the thing. Like, no, sometimes games are just games. They're for fun. And I just want to see like the art of it and like the interactions. So I saw a little bit of it, of you playing. I watched her Twitch, QueenKay all day.
Yeah.
It mainly was in the background for the friend moral support, so she can get a viewer. Let's be honest, but I did look at it. I did look at it a little bit.
Yeah,
I thought, like, I did think I agreed. The art was really pretty, and for some reason, I did not know when this game actually originally came out. I thought it was a lot older than last year.
I did too.
I was very impressed with the graphics. Like, oh, this is very good for its time. Oh, it's 2019. No wonder why.
Let me fact check that, because it'll be very embarrassing if we were like, it came out last year, and people were like, no, it wasn't. Let me check.
Oh, I have no idea when it actually came out, but I was assuming, I thought it was like, I don't know, like 2016 or something, and I'm probably very off. But yeah, I liked the art and the gameplay.
Oh, 2017.
2017. Oh,
yeah.
I knew it was older. I knew it. I shouldn't have, second guessed myself.
I'm over here tripping about spoilers. Then it's been out for what, like almost 4 years, basically.
Yeah, see, there are no spoilers. You should have seen this by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the fact that you can, when I was watching that, how you can respond, using different, not emotions, but motives, the intellectual, the more combative.
I had you pick one of them for me.
I did. I picked a couple, and it saved you. The little boy helped you, or the guy helped you. He was a male. I don't remember his age.
Yeah, you wanted me to be kind to him, and then he ended up not being so much of a dick later. But
yeah, you dropped the rock. It was the rock. You were going to hit him with a rock, and I was like, no, be nice to him.
But he grew up and was an asshole, but then he ended up helping her, and then he died. So
what?
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I don't.
No. Like half the people she knows ends up dying. So
that's depressing.
Yeah, it's a very tragic story.
I really like stuff like that where it's post-apocalyptic in the sense that human race has reverted back to a earlier, simpler time. Mm-hmm. Like you have ruins of buildings and machinery, and I love that the a lot of the animals are mechanic, mm-hmm. and the horse is a machine, which is very, very technologically advanced, but they're just like, oh, these wild machine monsters, you got to kill them.
Or hunt them like they're actual, as opposed to like skinning actual flesh and blood animals, you like skin them for their parts or like
right.
things like that.
Like I like that. And actually, as you were playing the game, it reminded me of a show on Netflix I recently watched. It's called the Shannara Chronicles. Where
I've heard of that.
It's borderline kind of, it's definitely post-apocalyptic. There was an event that happened that wiped out most of humanity as we know it, and elves evolved.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow elves and trolls and I want to call them goblins. I watched the entire series. I can't remember what those weird looking things are, but they evolved from a human. It was like, how did elves and trolls evolve from humans? But like, it was very post-apocalyptic. There was definitely remnants of current modern day. I think there was like a rusted helicopter in one of the shots.
Really? See, yeah. I didn't know that. I thought it was like straight up just like its own world, had nothing to do.
No. It was definitely oh gosh, what was that called? It's not called the Cataclysm.
That's always the key phrase. It's a cataclysm or the cataclystic event.
Right. I don't know. Maybe we'll have an episode about the Shannara Chronicles. It was pretty good passive TV watching. Mm-hmm. It didn't require a lot of thought, which was great because I was looking for something that I didn't have to be too invested about, but it was about magic. I was trying to fill a gap that the magicians left in my life, and I found the Shannara Chronicles.
Oh yeah, so Aloy, I like her character. She's a badass. She doesn't take shit from people. She was literally born as an outcast, and so she's not really impressed with the ideas of tradition and tribal rule because she's like, basically that tradition is what kept her out until she had to fight her way back in. And the thing that I liked the most was that this wasn't a story of an outcast who desperately wanted to be part of the tribe. The only reason she did it is because she wanted to learn more about her past. She basically was like, I could care less if y'all accept me. I just want to know what happened to my people or what happened to me before.
Okay, I didn't see you play this part, but why was she an outcast? Why was she born an outcast?
Well, that's part of the big spoiler, though. So, okay.
Fine. I'll go back and read a synopsis on Wikipedia.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, it starts literally, she was motherless. No one knew where her mother was. So, spoilers to how that came to be. And then she had Ross, who, who's her typical, was her father figure who trained, who was also an outcast and trained her. And then you got your little like training montage where she's a little girl and then she grows up and now you know all her skills.
That was a good montage.
It was a good montage. So yeah, it was a really good game. The story mode was very enticing. Like it very much, it didn't feel like a game that was boring or like, oh, the story is just so boring, I don't care. It kept me engaged. I was eager to keep doing the quest so I could see what happened next. And it makes me actually very excited for the sequel, which we'll get to. But what I didn't like, personally, I felt like the day and night cycles came too quickly. And I don't know if it was just a matter of how I was playing the game on my computer, through my computer monitor versus like my actual TV monitor, which I ended up switching at a certain point. But like when it was dark, I couldn't see shit. Like I was trying to aim. I mean, it was literally, and I guess like that's the realism of it in a sense of like, when it got night, I was like, all right, Aloy, we're just going to wait until morning because you can't see nothing.
Okay, but that, you still got to play at night. No one's going to expect you. The developers don't expect you to like wait out the sun.
Yeah, well, I did, but I was just saying that in certain areas, it was real hard to see. I had, and also because it was an open world concept too, like, how in certain places there are, there's certain games where maybe like in World of Warcraft, I guess it just depends because you don't know. They would have on the map like, oh, this is an area for these type of machines, so like here are the big machines and those will, mess you up.
Like
so she's and like, stuff. Yeah. So I can have her sprinting through areas and she'll be like, freaking out all the like, creatures in that area who want to chase her. But I swore I had this one talent where sprinting does not alert them anymore. And I swear I would be sprinting outside of their view and they still would be like, that bitch is running past, so. What? I don't know. Maybe it was just how I was playing the game, but it's not too much of a big nitpick. There are also some times where I would parkour to certain places and I had no way how to get down. Like I literally, half my death count was probably having her jump off a cliff that was way too fucking far for her to land.
Oh yes, the classic cat dilemma.
Yeah. So, those are just probably just more so just me playing the game versus actual like mechanics. I mean, no game's perfect, but I really enjoy this game. I recommend anyone who likes open world RPG, adventure type games, you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. And to lead into that, there's going to be Horizon Zero Dawn West, which is supposed to be the sequel. It's going to be coming out. I heard it's supposed to come out sometime in 2021 on the PS5, which guess I gotta get a PS5 now.
Oh, geez.
As our video console overlords have demanded if we wish to play the game.
You should see if it's going to be backwards compatible. That's like only the good thing that PlayStation did. I am a PC / I guess Xbox / Nintendo Switch. But I do like the fact that PlayStation has made some, not all, of their games backwards compatible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as someone who's really getting into streaming and Twitch, I do run the risk of, I don't really care that much about spoilers, honestly, but like, if I wanted to see this game, if I wanted to play this game, like right as it comes off fresh and hot and baked for the consoles, I'm going to have to get me a console because also Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be on PS5. Which I super want to play. And there's just all these other games on PS5 I'm going to like want to play when they come out. So I'm just like, oh, I have to give you my money.
Yeah, not only like the standard games, but like, how far VR has come.
That's true.
And I'm sure the PS5 is going to be pretty good with that.
I mean, yeah, I need to look in to see how much, the PS5 is, but yeah, so I mean, there's a trailer that's out for it. People can Google and look at. It looks like there's elephant-sized machines, and it looks like she can actually like go underwater. Like because she has like a little scuba outfit on. And
Oh,
Horizon Zero, like West, like I would, she gets to expand. It's just real interesting. The game ended with her super confident and she's like kind of held as a hero basically. So it's just going to be interesting. Like, what is the new storyline? Oh, and they had an actor that's well known who's in the game, so you could probably figure him out when you see him. But yeah,
if it's
that
not Henry Cavill, I don't care.
it is not.
Dang it.
It is not.
Okay.
So that is our episode, our first Agents of Phantom episode. It's like
Agents of Fandom.
Agents of Fandom, and it's Horizon Zero Dawn. We are going to have like some fun series for this podcast. Basically, it's just us exploring, movies we've watched in the past, movies that we want to watch, we're going to watch in the future, or watch as they come out. We'll try to, when new things drop, maybe have more updated podcast episodes for our like reviews and whatnot. We have what we call Throwback Thursday series, and this season is going to be Avatar: The Last Airbender. So
Yes.
we'll be watching that, and because it's throwback. Avatar's been out for a while. It is the Netflix overlords have figured out how to get it to us via Netflix.
I just watched that for the very, very first time, and I just finished it 3 days ago.
See, I watched it when it came out, but it's been so long, so I'm excited for that. And then for our film series, what we do is we take a look at a film collection or a set based off of like a certain topic. And I'm going to get us through the X-Men movies, starting with the very first X-Men in the 2000s.
What Kayla means, she's going to get us through the X-Men series, which means she's going to drag Jasmine through the X-Men series kicking and screaming.
Hey, you get a Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, so that should help a little bit.
It does help. I don't know. I mean, there are other things I think I would like to explore, but I know we will have, all kinds of time to do in the future. And I guess X-Men is as good as any to start because while I do like magic more, mutants are, still top of the list.
Yeah, and I think also too is to start off kind of us we'll eventually step into like the Marvel movies, maybe the DC movies, Studio Ghibli films, which will be super fun.
I want to do Studio Ghibli next after X-Men.
We are.
That's my opinion.
That's season 2.
Oh yeah.
Season 2, stay tuned.
Yeah, I remember season 2. Can we switch?
I guess we could. We haven't technically started. We're gonna have to. All you're gonna do is put off X-Men because we're going to go through them.
No, fine. We'll do X-Men first.
I mean, you can get your rewards yourself for Studio Ghibli in season 2.
Okay, fine. We'll do X-Men. Do we have to do every single movie?
You know what? That would be a good listener survey. We could go through every single X-Men movie started from, and that includes all the past, they go back to the past and all of Logan's and Wolverine's films. Or
do you want us to do like, I don't know, like 3
the top
episodes,
5 from the X-Men franchise? We could do that.
3 episodes, the top 5, top ones of the X-Men series.
You know what? We're going to do an executive decision. It's going to be the top 5, our favorite. You know what? It's going to be our top 5 X-Men film.
There's only 5 of them anyway.
No, there's not. There's like X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men 3. Then there's like 2 or 3 of when they're in the past. Then there's a Jean Grey one. Then there's like 3 Wolverine ones. There's a lot.
There's just so much, and just like, okay,
there are 8.
I'm not a comic book nerd. I like the movies and I like the TV things. So I'm not very knowledgeable on the comics, and so I feel like I am disadvantaged here.
I mean, at a certain point, what I really want to do is, because at the end of the day, I just want to get to Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok and Captain America Winter Soldier. And not to say that like all the other Marvel movies like were good in their own. Actually, I like the Ant-Man movies too. But
But also,
I guess it's our podcast, so we can do whatever we want.
we are the music makers. We can choose which episode, which movie to talk about.
We choose.
This is our show, literally. People can take it or leave it.
All right. Anyone who's listening to this first episode, you just heard this entire argument. So we are reshaping what we just said minutes before. We will not be doing the X-Men series, but we're going to pick our favorite movies from like the Marvel superhero world. And then we could have an end segment where the person who picks it has to defend their choice to the other person.
Okay, so we each got to think of a movie from the X-Men, and we each get to pick a Marvel movie, and we each get an episode about that.
Can we pick 2 Marvel movies?
No.
What are you going to pick?
I already know what you're going to pick.
Well, what are you going to pick?
What are you going to pick? Black Panther?
Yes. Yes. And if you're not, and if you keep, I mean, I can turn a whole season into Black Panther trivia and knowledge.
No.
So don't test me. Don't test me.
This is a generalized, all-encompassing, all-inclusive nerd podcast.
It is, yes. So yes, for listeners who stuck around for this section, who heard our arguments, our takeaways, our film series, it is going to be a film series where it's basically us just talking about movies. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. No, it's not. We're just going to do whatever we want every episode. The only thing that's going to be unique is the Throwback Thursday.
We do what we want.
So if you're going to be like, I wonder what the next episode is, we don't even know right now. But stick around.
And that's not to say that the next episode indeed won't be X-Men. After we've had some offline conversations.
I submit to the table my 3 choices, which is Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, and Captain America Winter Soldier.
I also would like
from
to
the Marvel
submit,
universe.
Okay, from the Marvel universe, I would like to submit Doctor Strange, Iron Man 3 or 2. Oh no, I think it's 3.
That's the key.
I know.
One's better than the other.
I know. And then also, I love me some Thor Ragnarok. So
I was like, if you don't say Thor Ragnarok, if you don't say Thor Ragnarok, you're just lying to yourself at this point.
So we will have 2 individual extra Marvel movies and then Thor Ragnarok. All right, audience, we got it settled. We are a democracy. This is what we're going to do. Eventually. I don't know if it's going to be next or not.
It'll be like, what is it? What's on the table? You got Black Panther, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Thor Ragnarok has been slotted. It has been agreed upon.
Let's make that the last one then.
Yeah, for funsies.
Yeah. All right, what's going to be next? What's going to be next?
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Oh, God, I hate that movie.
That one. It's not the first one. It's the spy one. That one's much more... I don't think you're thinking of the right one.
No, I totally think of the right one. So next episode will be Captain America, Winter Soldier, folks, an audience.
Oh, God.
Stay tuned for some shenanigans.
In parentheses, maybe.
Maybe.
Anyway, thanks for sticking around with us. As always, since this is a gaming episode, I'm just going to go ahead and drop my Twitch feed. You can get me on QueenKay all day on Twitch and on Twitter. And thanks for listening to us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye, all.